Hello, this is a Brave Knight Mercenary Spotlight on Aiela. Aiela is a 4-star rarity defender. Aiela was a soldier and unknowingly was involved in a suicide mission, and when she learned that she was considered expendable, she harbored a lot of hatred for her original side. She surrendered to the enemy army after being captured and joined their side. That side happens to be Velfern's side. Aiela's companion is Laplas. Laplas is a fellow knight who also fought along with Aiela in their hopeless battle against Velfern. When Laplas was also captured, she chose loyalty to her friend over her original side, and together they defected from the original army and remained together happily ever after. The end. I'll briefly go over Aiela's skills, gameplay style, and provide some of my opinions on her. I won't be going over the details of her skills, but just the general parts of it. I linked the Brave Knight Encyclopedia in the video description where you can easily read on her stats and skill values. Aiela's first skill is permanent debuff immunity. Aiela is immune to all debuffs. It's worth noting that this skill is relatively rare among 4-star characters. Most of them do not have permanent debuff immunity. Aiela's second skill is nimbleness. At the beginning of battle, Aiela gets a 100 turn unremovable stat enhancement. The stat enhancement reduces the amount of damage dealt to her if the attack grazes. At plus 15, this buff also comes with a special renewal component that will refresh all refreshable buffs on her whenever she is hit. This does not include nimbleness, however. Aiela's third skill is shock. Aiela applies the shock attack interference after normal attack. The shock damage scales with their attack value. Aiela's awakening skill is taunt. Aiela gains taunt after normal attack for a few turns. Aiela is a taunt-focused defender that can hold the enemy team through her rare ability to take reduced damage with grazed attacks. Aiela at plus 14 and plus 15 can mitigate all additional damage sources if an attack grazes her. The only damage that she cannot reduce with graze is direct damage, before normal attack damage, and fixed damage, which are hard to come by in Novice Arena. Aiela by herself doesn't have impressive agility stats, so she needs a support to boost her agility to 100% so she can consistently graze. Once she has 100% agility, she's incredibly difficult to kill due to the combination of her graze mechanics and her permanent debuff immunity. At plus 15, she even has the ability to refresh any buffs on her whenever she is hit, so she can constantly retain taunt and her agility buffs whenever she is attacked. Aiela herself is also a decent disruptive defender and can lock out some units' ability to attack with her long shock attack interference and decent tiles to apply it. Aiela's main weaknesses are nullifiers or stat enhancement removals. By removing her agility buffs, her ability to tank becomes far less consistent, and she doesn't have impressive defensive stats alone, although her HP is decent. In terms of runes, you can go with either defense or vitality runes or even attack. Vitality might be better to harness her decent base HP, but she's mostly tanky by virtue of agility rather than her HP or defense stats, so try to get as much agility as you can. This also includes her soul gears as well. I'll go over what Aiela counters. Aiela's natural debuff immunity makes her a very strong unit against any other unit that depends on stigmas or debuffs. Karen, Exile, Belisir, Ian, Scarlet, and Rydal are a few examples. Any unit that also relies on just normal attacks or additional damages will be unable to do damage if they graze against Aiela. Yunring, Aizen, and Alchi are a few examples. I'll go over some Aiela counters now. Killing Aiela is mostly a two-step process. The first is to make sure that she does not retain any agility buffs so she can't constantly force grazes anymore. This is mostly done through nullifiers or stat enhancement prohibitions and removals. Deika and Beatrice have the ability to remove stat enhancements and apply stat enhancement prohibition onto their targets. Beatrice is nice in particular because she also has fixed damage against defenders. Maria, Mia, and Showman also have nullifiers and buff prohibition. Scarlet and Belisir both have counters that can remove stat enhancements. Another option is Frederica, who despite having not received their companion update yet could be good at addressing Aiela. Frederica has both nullifier and additional damage afterwards that can kill Aiela if she's lucky. Finally, Ebony could bestow her allies with nullifier to remove Aiela's buffs and her taunt. Once Aiela's buffs are gone, killing her is mostly just RNG, but it's RNG in your favor. Her agility is at 20 by itself and can go into the upper 40s if she's running decent runes and soul gears with agility substats. If you score a non-graze on her with a warrior that can deal decent damage, Aiela's in danger of dying as Aiela does not have any incoming damage reduction on her own. So some synergies with Aiela. Aiela's favorite supports are ones that can increase her agility. Julie and Lulu are the two main ones currently who are able to do so in Novice Arena. Julie is a 3-star, so she's the most common pairing with Aiela. Sui is also a decent support if a lot of people are going to be hitting your Aiela. You can use Sui's Reflect to chip away at the enemy team. Other than that, Aiela works well as your team's main taunt tank in similar ways that Iris or Carlson would have been used. Aiela is just a very flexible unit. Okay, so for my opinion, Aiela carries numerous traits that makes her remarkably strong in Novice Arena. Debuff immunity is still a very rare skill in that format, and having that already sets her far beyond others. The ability to refresh your own taunt and potentially tank endless amount of units is pretty game changing in Novice Arena, which frequently sees units getting one shot left and right. Aiela has potential to slow down the meta a lot. Aiela can open a lot of interesting strategies as a result, and she is good in most contents in this game, but primarily shines in Novice Arena. She can be decent at taking certain bosses in PvE as well. So the question begs, should you invest in Aiela? And my answer is yes. Aiela is a 4-star unit, so it shouldn't be terribly costly to invest in her, but she's also really good in Novice Arena and her skill set is naturally strong to survive the various meta changes. Even if her agility mechanics are rendered obsolete, she can still serve as a debuff immune taunt tank, which is a lot more than what many 5-star units can actually attest to right now. Aiela is decent throughout most skill levels, but you still want her at plus 15 eventually because of her ability to refresh her buffs is locked at that skill level. Aiela at plus 14 is good as a regular taunt tank, but anything below that is prone to chip damage as Aiela does not block 100% of the damage when the attack raises her. For 4-star units, she's a bit expensive, but she's pretty well worth it, especially if you care about Novice Arena. Do be warned, there could be a future where fixed damage before normal attack damage and even direct damage end up making its way into Novice Arena. In the case that happens, Aiela will suffer. All in all, Aiela is very nice. Hopefully we could witness Ludia getting a similar treatment in the future. Aiela is equipped with a very simple skill set that just works. As for aesthetics, I like Aiela, simple shield girl. Her companion is kind of bland to me on the other hand, and I don't really like that pose. Thanks for watching my Aiela Mercenary Spotlight. Stay tuned for more, and thanks for the support as always.